Hello, my name is Eric. I'm making a game. It's called Godkiller. Today I'm wearing a wide-necked shirt. It's not super wide. It's kind of like I don't know what they call this type of neck. I bought the shirt in an airport and I didn't try it on. I bought it on my way back from Hawaii. I liked the pattern on the front, and I assumed I was going to get a normal crew neck t-shirt. But instead I got a scrub neck t-shirt. That I'll use that as the term for it, because the other people that have shirts with wide necks like this, scrubs. Also light blue color. If these sleeves flared out a little more, that'd totally be a scrub shirt. Like if you were somebody who worked in a hospital and you wanted to have a little flare, you might wear this shirt, have your little Hawaiian pattern on the front. So I don't know, it seems like every possible collar design, somebody's got to do it, even though some of them aren't that good. The scrub neck, at least, it'll give you a little more breathing room, but then, like, if your goal was to just be cooler, I'm thinking tank top. That's sort of the logical extreme of that. Still covering up your nips, but keeping you as cool as possible. People have done the tight neck too. They've done the turtleneck. They've done a ruff. Ruffs are not real popular these days. They might come back. Those Elizabethan things where it just flares out real wide. Seems like a pretty impractical kind of collar to have. Then you got, you know what kind of collars are. My point is, every stupid idea for a collar, somebody's going to do it, and this is one of them. The scrub neck. The scrubs, just give them tank tops. If they're hot, give them tank tops. Whatever makes them comfortable. We worry too much about the patient's comfort. Let's worry about our men and women that have to be near infectious diseases and gross people. That's the thing nobody ever says. Those people that come into hospitals, they're gross. Not in normal life. Most of the time they're cool in normal life, but when they come in the hospital, they're gross. They're like coughing, sneezing, vomiting. They got problems, and these scrubs, they got to deal with them, and it's disgusting. They have like skin tags, and those nurses, they got to clip off little skin tags off of patients. They get all that gross stuff to do, and the doctors, they come in, they just consult for 7 minutes, and then the nurses and everything, they're there to give the illusion that you had a whole big, long, valuable experience, but it's really only 7 minutes with the doctor. And if there's anything gross that has to be done, like snipping off skin tags or pulling wax out of your ear canal, they're going to give it to the nurses. So let them wear tank tops. If they want to wear a friggin' tank top, let them wear a tank top. That's what I say. None of this stupid scrub neck stuff. Alright, this is the most important thing you've heard all day, but I'm going to move on to something else. I'm going to give a demo of my game. Yeah, you notice, like, when I talk, I add in extra syllables that don't belong to any words. I don't know why I do that, but always, when these streams, at least for the current format, I'll say some nonsense like I just did, then I'll give a demo of my game, which kind of makes more sense. Show off what I did recently, and then I'll just do some work. And this stream is no different. It's going to be just like that. Let's do a demo. I'm pretty happy with what I did last night. I've already got it playing. Let's see. So these things. See where my mouse pointer is at? This, and this, these yellow ovular things, they're eggs, right? And when you die, I promise, that's not a COVID cough. It's just my normal old man wake up stuff. I've been up for maybe an hour, and takes me a little while to get all the little coughs and hiccups and stuff out of my system after I get up. Okay, so when you die, you're born out of an egg, and the level doesn't reset. You're just whoop, you come out of the egg, right? But whichever egg you were near last is the one that you'll be born out of. It's just, like in a lot of games there's a checkpoint, and sometimes you progress further into the level and you want to touch a checkpoint to make that the new place where you restore to if you die, right? So it's the same concept, except the level never resets, so it's a little more like a teleportation. So I added this special effect of the glow changing and also the sound effect playing whenever you get near another egg and cause your birth egg, is the term I use, to switch to that egg. It says M on top of the egg because that's the name of the main character. I also designed this so that each egg gets its own note, and what you hear is it's easier just to do it here. Okay, so it went da 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 da, went da da. Well, I went over to this egg because the second note is associated with this specific egg. The first note is associated with the other egg. If I go the other direction, it just plays them in reverse because one note is for the unselection of an egg and the other one is for the selection of an egg. And okay. Now, those are playing in the musical key of the level, and this, I'll explain this a little bit, even though I've explained it a number of times, even recently, because I'm going to work on one part of this today, a small little bug that I discovered yesterday. So there is a global setting for the musical key, okay? So right now it might be like G major or something like that, and that means for any of these keys that are in the chromatic scale, and there's 24 different keys, C sharp major, F minor, stuff like that. There are 3 notes that can play harmoniously together for that key, and for my melodic sound effects, they will all play using notes in the current key for the level. So later when I add some music to the level, it might be in one key for a few measures and then switch to a different key a moment later. And as the key changes in the music, the sound effects will play in that key as well. And the sound effects will generally harmonize with the music and other sound effects that are melodic. So here's some other sound effects. Now, I've not heard anything that sounds wrong about the sound effects that I just played. More melodic sound effects. But I know there is an issue, and it will affect the quality of the sounds that you hear. When I define a melodic sound effect, I supply not samples for every single note that could play, but 3 or 4 at different points within an octave. And so if you think about a musical keyboard, it's got 12 notes in an octaves. Meaning if you start on the C key, a white key that's just to the left of the two black keys on any keyboard, and you go up one note at a time, even using the black keys, you go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Although I just used the white keys on that little thing. But the point is, the last note is the same as the previous. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? So the do at the beginning is the same as the do at the end. It's a higher pitch, but it's the same note. It's a C note. So in representing the sound effect, so that it can play all the notes, I put in samples for maybe 4 of those notes, maybe 3. And for the gaps between where I don't have samples, I interpolate. I set the pitch appropriately to play that note. So I noticed that there was a gap in one of my melodic sound effects that I added for this. And it's a gap that had to be there. Actually, no, I shouldn't. I didn't say that right. Hold on, let me explain just a tiny bit better. I'm actually going to get to work here. So the samples I have to work with, they go B, okay, then they go up to D. Okay, so I have B, D, F, and G sharp. Okay, so I had been thinking about them as alphabetical for an octave, and it's a very programmer type thing to consider. So, you know, I would have been thinking of the octave starting at A in my algorithm, because the letter A comes before the letter C. But in music, octaves begin on C. So I was very confused last evening when I played B here. And then I thought, I'll go to D, it'll go up. It didn't go up. And I thought maybe the samples were wrong. And so I actually brought up some pitch detection software, and it said, no, this is B2 and this is D2. And I got a little bit nuts about it. It's like, I am hearing the note going up, right? It's going bum, or I mean, I am hearing it going down from B to D. So it's like, yeah, it's going down, right? Okay, but the whole root of my confusion was the octaves start on C. I had forgotten that. And my code assumes that they start at A in a very naive and simplistic way. Because the alphabet that I was taught in kindergarten starts with A, you know. It starts with C. So I need to fix my algorithm so it makes the assumption that an octave starts at C. And when I do that, I can add one more sample that I wasn't using before. I'll show you. A lot of clips. Let's see. Yeah, I've got starting at A. Even in my comment here as a guide to give myself, I've got it starting at A. Let's see, where's Sound Effect Manager? I gotta close some of these, I don't need them all now. Okay, Sound Effect Manager. Okay. So here I've got the samples for selecting the birth egg and unselecting it. And unlike the other ones, I have to use one less sample. So there's 12 slots here. And what I ought to have is let's see, this is AASBCC. Okay. I should have it starting at C and then the AASB on the end. If I did, then I could use this extra sample that's available to me, the B2, and there'll be less interpolation along these notes, and the quality of the sound will be better because it'll be closer to the original sound that an instrument made of wood and an artist with lungs and air pushing through them made. Ideally, I'd have a sample for every single note, but I don't, and I'm actually pretty happy to have, you know, a collection of samples that represent, you know, 4 notes per octave. Definitely a lot higher quality than just grabbing one sample and then interpolating that across everything. So the more samples you've got, the better it's going to sound when it interpolates, because it doesn't have to interpolate as far if you know, there's samples that are closer to the note that you're trying to play. Okay, so I'm going to fix this. I may do some other stuff today. I certainly will do some other stuff today, but this morning session I'm just doing odds and ends, different small bugs and tasks that I have to do. This is what I want. I'm probably just going to quietly look at this for a bit and think about my options for fixing it without breaking stuff. This code has served me pretty well. I've had very little debugging on it, very little. It's nice when you got stuff that just works and you can stop thinking about it. But now I got to come back and think about it. Okay, let me make a pocket design. Say number 1. Add to music component a melodic clip tester. I don't want to have to contrive things in the level to test out the different notes and listen to them. I'll just make something that just plays a note in whatever key that you, whatever note you request and whatever sound effect you request. I'll be able to probably hear by ear if it's right or not, because I kind of know what a scale sounds like. But if I have any difficulties, I'll bring up Tuner Ninja again, Don Gooding's free online utility for testing the notes that's played and saying like what actual note it is and what frequency it's playing at. Okay. Now here's my theory. Just looking at this, I think this will mostly work without any changes. I'll double check this, but let's see. Let's see. Arrange, load. Actually, I don't think that's going to be true. take a look at sound effect. Okay, that's this play note, I think, is of interest. I think I can just create some macros around here that shift it. So right now I'm assuming that 0 is the same thing as A. So there's an enum here, and it's got the 12 notes. Then I'm just casting it. I don't really want to rearrange the enum. I don't think I do. I'll say that's an option. Let's put that in as an option. Okay. So let's see. Keep note enum as is, and every place where note is converted to clip set index, shift start on a shift by X offset. Okay. Number 2. Okay, I'll say this will be in sound effect. Same as number 1, but reorder note enum. Okay, how much trouble will it cause me to just reorder the note enum? It definitely has some advantages. I don't have to do an extra little bit of work to shift by X offset. That's very negligible, but I don't know. Simpler code is better code. I can keep the concept in my head in other places where I'm thinking about melodies that C starts at the beginning of an octave. Be a little bit clearer than always having to kind of shift between two different ways of arranging values. Let me see. Someplace I have. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So here's a definition of all the notes that belong to each key chord in the chromatic scale. So I don't think there's anything here that's dependent on order. I could rearrange these as well. I could also up above. Oh, see here I was pretty smart. And I put these in the actual order that corresponds to an octave. Okay. These I would have to rearrange if I change the note enums, because I think this is being used. No, it's never being used. Well, let's make my life easier, I guess. Okay. I think number 2 is the winner. Hold on, let me put a little git save here so I can revert later if I want to. Especially if that number 2 option is just crazy hard for some unexpected reason. I might go back to the number 1 option. Now let's see what I got done. The egg plays lovely sounds and glows. Peg to 100%. Also, before fixing melodic clip set. Okay, so this don't need. I'm gonna do number 2. Yeah, I'm just gonna okay. This might be very easy. What is the hotkey for closing the current file? In fact, I don't even think there is one. That's weird. I just really do like, after I've finished some changes in a file and I don't think I'm coming back to it, to just close it. Oh, by the way, YouTube was a little bit weird, or Twitch was, about exporting from Twitch to YouTube, and there's one session here, 2 days old. If you like the weird nonsense at the beginning, I'd say it's good for that. Other than that, you're caught up on status by just looking at today's status update. But this one's actually goes back 2 days. And I have been working every single day. So let's see, what did I come over here for? Damn it, I'm totally forgetting. Oh yeah. Right, JetBeans, writer, key to close file. Yeah, exactly. Command W, I just want to close the file. I don't want to extend the selection. Okay, settings, key map, main menu, window, editor. Okay. It'll be in here somewhere. It won't match the same thing that they said. Okay, key map. Close active tab. I want it to be, how do I change it? Will that remove the selection thing, or is it going to do both of them? That'd be weird. Okay, now can I do my favorite thing? No, that didn't do. This is a great IDE. It really is. It's just, it takes a while to get it set up to do you instead of do this other regime that it has built into it. You're like training each other with Rider. It's training you to do things, and then sometimes you push back and you train it to do things your way instead. So it's a bit of a struggle. I think our relationship will evolve, and at some point we'll be completely aligned. I won't do anything that pisses off Rider, and Rider won't do anything that pisses off me. Okay. So I said main menu, I said Windows, I said active tool window, close active tab. Set the tab. Maybe I gotta do a save? Is that what's going on? No. Yeah, let's see. I'm saying close the active tab. Oh, well that option doesn't seem to do the thing you would expect it to do. That didn't actually close the active tab. So I didn't use the key to do it, I just used the menu, and the menu option, that wasn't right. So editor tabs, maybe this is what I meant. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. I am wrong. It really seemed like that would be the thing. Okay, so it kind of makes sense it would be an editor tab. It feels like it has to be this. But instead it does this strange thing. So let's say close all to the right. That worked. Let's say close all to the left. Okay. Let's say just close me. Alright. That's a little bit weird. It's forgivable, but it's weird. Okay, so I'll see if this has got to be extremely boring for anyone watching this, but let's just remove that. And then we want editor tabs. Close, and then I'll change this. Okay. Now. Let's go to Booter. Sound effect manager. And let us fix all of these. So I think first I'll start by putting it where it would have gone, even though it's not right. And that would probably help me just in a bulk way update all the other things. So this is birth, egg, select, E2. I think it's important to fix things like this when you see that they're a problem, because one thing, you loaded the context of that problem in your mind. It's efficient to deal with it while you understand it, as opposed to when it comes up again later. And the way it would come up later is I'm just playing some sound and all of a sudden it sounds off. And I'm like, why? Why does it sound wrong like that? And I'll have totally forgotten all these reasons. So I've got everything loaded into my head now. Alright. So just thinking about it. This is how it is now. So I can, for all of my melodic ones, I can go grab the first three, put them on the end. And that's all I gotta do. For each melodic. And there's some reformatting issues. I'll get that in a second pass. I thought of something I could do that would actually make these, editing this, less prone to error, and it'll read more concisely. I'm going to do it. Just go like this. AS is a keyword. Okay. Fine. Okay. So do this. I don't even need to do that. So I was picturing like a way to just assign variables in a constructor for only the notes you want, but the file names themselves have a convention that I followed pretty well of including the note that the sample corresponds to. So what I could do instead of create a new class for that is make a function that will just look at all the sample names and put them into an array of 12 for each note. So I'm going to say string Yeah. The thing I deleted out of here actually suddenly maybe need it. Okay, this was meant to be a human readable instead of values. Maybe I want to change it to be let's do first off move this off to here. And this is pretty close. I just need to let's see. Yeah. I've been pretty good about this. There's always a little hyphen right before the note. Let's see. This is lowercase. Whoops. Let's just make these all lowercase. That's to warn me in case I start editing this to make it look pretty for human readable text or something like that. Okay. oops, notes. Okay, so with this, what I can do is just not worry about getting these things precise and putting in little null spacers in between. So I'll be able to just change it to yoink those nulls out, and it doesn't even matter what order I put these in, so I just don't have to worry about getting that correct. I just say what samples I've actually got, and the rest will be sorted out. It's a lot easier to read, it's less error prone, and I think it's worthwhile because when I do mess this up, there's not an obvious indicator. I have to basically hear something playing in a disharmonizing way and start troubleshooting. It'll interpolate poorly if I get these wrong, and a note will be too low or too high, or it won't actually be in the one of the notes of the chromatic scale. I don't have to reorder these. I was going to reorder them all so that they started with C, but that won't matter with this new approach. They can be in any order, whatever I happen to desire. Oh, this is so much nicer. Okay. And this, I can even take this out. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Then I need to go up to load and have it call this if it needs to. Should do it. I like to put, unless it gets too hard or too weird, functions in order of calling, or meaning actually that if one function calls another, I want the called function to be up higher. Wait a minute, load non-melodic is never used? Impossible. Oh, okay, right, okay. No, this doesn't go here. So, I forget. I need to put some comments here. Holding on to a paste. Let's see. That's what it was. Okay. Make sometimes I wish I had a good way to copy and paste more than one thing at a time. But okay. I say that, but then I would have a hard time keeping track of it, if I'm honest. Okay, in front of this. Say if it's melodic, 7th. I don't think I'll ever use anything in the 7th octave, but alright. So this will be a nice reminder to me when I'm adding these in. Are they following the naming convention or not? And let me also add one more thing. Which I've sort of followed. Okay, all that. I suspect it'll work, but I won't really be sure until I've had a chance to test it. And I'm gonna make, I was gonna add it to music, and then I realized it might make more sense to create an editor only doodad. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So this could actually be private. Let's do that. It seems to no longer be used by someone else, so let's do that. I think yeah, that's fine. This is not used. Okay, I know where it used to be used. I do kind of wonder, can I make a drop down? Could I make a little drop down? I'll have to make some custom inspector nonsense. So then there's just a next attribute I can add, that would be awesome. Suppose this isn't that bad. Nah, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Gold plating. And I don't seem to need this, so let's just delete it. Request for more concise code. Yeah, okay, so all this. It's always better to set this before I do the thing. Okay, I think that might be the tester right there. Okay, so I should be able to see pretty soon if all these changes I made actually do something. Okay. Okay, I'd like to step through this in the debugger one time, just to see how it does. Oh, I forgot something. Yeah. So I wanted to do this in the editor, not while it's playing. So maybe what I want to do is have the tester just load something. You know, I don't need to overthink this. Is there not like already something I could use over here? Load melodic. Yeah. Okay. See. If I do that, I come back to this guy. Nope, nope, that's a bad way to do it. Because then I would have to specify all the stuff to load it, and I don't want to do that. So I can make this code that works while the game is playing. That's easy enough. So let's just undo the stuff that I just did, which implied a totally different use case. Okay. And then let's put all this inside of an editor. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. At some point, I should just make a player build and see what blows up. I'm sure some stuff will. Okay. Got all that. Let's give myself a little message to remind me. Although this is editor only code, it works just when playing. kind of curious about this music key map, if I can have two components of it without causing an issue. So if I go to I can, yeah. Okay, might as well synchronize them. So let's do void update. If trouble is, it's going to attempt to find a sound effect as you type it all out. So each key press is going to be on validate. And if I display an error here that says it can't find the sample that you've typed in, it's just going to... Yeah, it'll be obnoxious. It'll be a whole bunch of error messages that don't actually apply. So I think let's get rid of that. I'll wait until an attempt is made to play one of the notes. Writing this for some version of me 6 months from now. Okay, the log tester looks like it's in good shape. I could be wrong, but it seems like it's in good shape. Okay, let me test one thing. So it says C major here. If I go there, I go over to music, did it change? Nope, it did not. Since the sync code doesn't work, and it's just a weird edge case that isn't really going to give me any trouble, I'll just yank this out. I just don't think it's all that helpful. It's what I would call gold plating, doing more than is useful. Out of pride or prissiness, stubbornness, some human failing. Okay, so if I try to do one of these, it should. Yeah, okay. I think I almost got this logic right. Okay, so if I don't know why it called this code, to be honest. These two should be the same. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Come on, man. Why would you do that? Sound effect should have been null. You're saying it wasn't? Because that's weird. But like, how could it? Is it a struct? It's probably a struct. I'm gonna be irritated if it's a struct. No, it's not. I don't know how it got set. I really don't. But one thing about editor code is sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes you get the state from previous code that was invalid, but it's attached to. I mean, it's not attached, but it was created by code that was invalid. So it's not a good gauge of what the behavior should be. Okay, now it seems like here, let's just play. Yeah, I don't get this part. I'll say that. Can I just change this to null? Just to... No, I can't, apparently. The sound effect come from here, but this should return null if there's nothing, you know. I feel like this is some kind of garbage state that will sort itself out. I could be wrong. Let's hit play. First off, I'll just do a quick sanity check. Oh, no. I broke something already. Okay. Yeah. Turn off this guy who is... Just figure out first what I broke in the sound loading code. Okay, run, debug. It's already attached, okay. So I think I want to test this new code here. I already have a breakpoint set. Not sure why I didn't call this. when I just hit play. Let's assume something here is broken. Okay. Ooh. Exception, huh? Oh, that's true. That's true. Where is that? Sound Effect Manager 194. 135 actually. Yeah, don't need that. This is no longer expected to be true. I guess that threw an exception. It never got to this point, so it did throw an exception. Okay. We shall try it again. I want to see if I get all the way to the end. Okay. I don't think I'll get that. It'll be, yeah, this one here, D2, F2, G sharp, B2. Okay. Nope. Oh, is this right? I think this logic is wrong. Yeah, logic is wrong. I'm using the I value two different ways. This is going to go past the end of the array. So let's just hit play. I know it'll fail. Okay. So the way that is probably better to do it is to check each sample name. So let's go, yeah, this will keep. this also gives me a good way to call out when the sample name doesn't fit the convention. Let's just throw an exception for it. Okay, this is going to be better. The first one I threw an exception because I know it's going to crash underneath somewhere if I don't fix it. This one could be benign. I want to see it. It's good enough to have it logged to the console. Both of them are debug errors. I'm just handling them slightly different ways. Oh, this is insert. Actually, this will throw an exception. Now I changed my mind. Let's do exceptions for that too. Okay, and up here, we'll just return the I. Go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so here's the same sample names, right? It was 4. Yep. So this one, D2, it will match to D2. So the first one will be C. Nope. Nope. Yes, this will match. Okay. Oh, god damn it. I did the wrong thing here. So this is going to fail. Just go ahead and let it throw its exception and fail out. Say notes, node I. Okay. Okay, it should be 2. Good. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Next. 5. So what's 5? 5 would be F. That's correct. Did I get another exception? What? Oh yeah. I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, back to it. Okay, so the thing that weirded me was index outside bounds of array, and it was here. Oh, wait a minute. No? Okay. I think it was down here. So note I is going to be returned as a number between 0 and 11. This should be 12. Here's a key util. This has been a little bit more time consuming than I expected. 12. Okay, at the beginning, I create a new string array sized to 12. And this, it's either going to return -1 or it's going to be return between 0 and 11. Oh, I see the problem. This right here, stupid. Alright, got it. Just getting sloppy, apparently. Okay, then the last one. Okay, let's take a look at the notes. There's 12 of them. Okay, this is good. So we got C, C sharp, D. D sharp, E, F, F sharp. Is that right? I thought there was F sharp. Yeah, this isn't right, because this should actually be... Oh, I know why, though. I know why. I know why. Because it'll match G before it matches G sharp. Okay, glad I checked that. Okay, so it was successful in loading, but it didn't load correctly. And I kind of don't even want to hear the results. I know they'll be slightly off. Okay, so I could do something else here, which is to find an octave. Okay. Found octave no equals -1. This will also give me a chance to check that all of the samples are in the same octave, which is another thing that needs to be correct for the interpolation to work. So let's see. If I'm following the naming convention, the octave number will be the very last character. So let's see. I'll say not following naming convention. Yeah. You know what, let's just do this. Clearly I'm having trouble with loops today, so I can use this more modern flow control, and I'll probably have less problems overall. Let's see. That's the kind of problem to avoid. Okay. God damn it. You're getting confused, aren't you? Oh, there we go. That's why I couldn't do a one-liner. I didn't have a closer. Okay. Okay, and then we say dang it. Yeah. You know what? I don't have to do that conversion. I can say see, I'll keep it in the right range of the valid range of octaves that can be heard. I'm putting a lot of time here in this sort of validation because it'll help me fix problems when I add in more sound effects later. And they're actually expensive bugs to fix when I get it a little bit wrong, because if they just load without any issue, I'll hear interpolation errors, and interpolation errors are just a big pain to notice and then troubleshoot. So I just want to call out these failures really loud. So the type of error I would frequently make is just leaving that octave number off of the top, off of the end of a sample name. But that is not what I want to do. Another error I might make is accidentally trying to load in non-melodic samples as melodic, and then this would also catch that problem. Okay. So if I have the octave car on the end, that means that it will not match dash G for G sharp, because it needs that number on the end too to completely specify the text to match and not get false matches on other things. Okay, so I feel more optimistic about this working. Let us set that. Is this still playing? That's cool. All right. Oh, it already blew up on me. I just tried to step over it. It failed. Let's see. What was your problem that you had? Let's see. Yes, it does. It's got 2. It's right there. Let's try that again. Oh. Another problem there. Oh. Also, I need an exception down here if I come all the way to the bottom. Let's see what we got. Yep, that's looking good. Oh, let's see what this looks like. Yeah. So now we got them spaced out as I expected. So this before was coming up here to G because it matched -G, and now it had to, for it to be a G note, it would have to match -G too. So it didn't match that, so it was able to make the next comparison to be G sharp too. Okay, I like that. I suspect this is all gonna work. I took out that breakpoint there. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for explaining that to me. So that's good. That's good. That means I'm gonna fix that. So no, that's not true at all, actually. It should reach there. But what should never happen is that the found octave car isn't set. Okay, and for that to be true, I'll need another assertion at the top. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and fix the asset names that aren't following the new naming convention. I'm guessing that's as low as it goes. I'm guessing that's a octave 2. With the timpani, one of my favorite instruments. Too bad it can only express so much. Just make it not addressable and make it addressable. That should give me, yeah, fixes there. I'm just gonna eyeball these. I don't see any others that are wrong, but my new code will catch it for me, which is pretty cool. Sound effect manager. Let's go down and fix these. Okay, that was a successful load. It's a delightfully gloomy key. I like it. If I go up to here and I set my key to something else, let's do C major because I've heard it a lot and it will probably be very clear to me if it's in key or not. Okay. I say probably, but now I'm not sure. I don't have perfect pitch. It feels like sometimes I'm creeping up on that. Like I'm pretty good at starting the Do a Deer song on the right note. But I can also fool myself. So let me go and this guy I want to get back in the mix. That was the whole point of it. It probably got moved. Yeah. Okay, let me see. See how my errors are doing these days. Nice. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. So if I say, let me just do garbage to start. Okay, that's all good. I understand that. Makes sense. Let's clear that. Birth egg select. Do. Okay. Unselect. Interesting. Well, that helps me see that I probably got one of these guys that I didn't put in right. It's right here. Don't rebuild, don't rebuild. I didn't save, I didn't save. Okay. Here. You know, I'm gonna do all of them because I might find various problems. I'm just gonna do each melodic sound effect. It's good to figure the shit out all at one time, instead of just noticing in the back of your mind, oh, that sounds a little weird. Okay, and we'll start this again. And we're just going to go through each one that is melodic. Select is good, unselect. I'm going to try it again. That's all good. And let's do bonus. Okay, and then just to make sure that I've got the right pitch going. Hey, okay. Online pitch detector from Don Gooding, a hero of mine. I mean, not like a 9/11 first responder hero, but you know, just a more mellow kind of hero. The type of person that puts out their nifty work for everyone to use, however they like. That kind of hero. So, let me see. Kind of some way I can just keep this on top. Probably not easily. So I will shrink this in so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll bring in the Tuner Ninja. Okay. Might be too short of a sample. If I just hear one of them and I'm assured that it's correct, I don't have to check them all. Let's go back to, actually, let's do Fling Guide. Okay. I don't know why. So when I do, wow, it's blind to that one. That's okay. Okay. Try one more just to make sure you've got the basic mapping of notes right. Seems to have a problem with that particular note. I don't know why. Okay, this seems off. Wow. It's twisted. It is twisted. So let me go through these. Let me see which ones have problems. I'm guessing it's only going to be the birth egg ones, which had that extra B at the beginning. and look at a few other ones. Fall is going to be real hard to get a good read on because the timpani is not extremely melodic. Let's check a few more of these. So we did north, let's do south. Good, that one's good. Seems like it might have a little trouble with notes in certain ranges. It's alright. I'm just verifying that the problem is confined. Oh yeah, you have trouble with that, don't you? Okay. Oh wait a minute, that didn't sound like gate close, that just sounded like the last one. Hold on. I'm using a combination of my ears and the Tuner Ninja because my ears they can say something's right when Tuner Ninja doesn't pick it up. Shorter notes Tuner Ninja seems to have a little difficulty with. Notes that have a lot of variation as they play and aren't right on the same pitch has some trouble with. And apparently outside certain frequency ranges it's got a few problems. But if I get any of these notes to match up pretty well, and I can also hear with my ears that it's not off. I can't hear a note like, say, and just go, oh, that's D. But I can tell if I heard this note that the next note is going to go, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay, this one. These low grand pianos have always had a little bit of trouble. Gotta let the note play all the way to the end before doing another one. Da. That's another way to get the Tuner Ninja to tell you the note if it's having trouble, is I just sing in the same note that I just heard, and usually it can pick up my voice and gauge it. Okay. This is so far matching up pretty well to the theory that it's just the new ones that I put in there. Da, da, da. Yeah, these are really short notes. Pretty hard to gauge them. What's the next one? Stairs medium. Da, da, da. Okay, these should be fine. Da, da. It's a little bit out of my comfort range. Da. Okay, that's good. Okay, so it's just birth egg select, birth egg unselect. The next test on that is just make sure the individual samples are correct. I just don't want to do a lot of troubleshooting. If that's not the case, I'm pretty sure they're good. Okay, so this should be B. It's a complex sound that's got wavers in it, so I kind of have to match it by singing to get it read. Okay, that's a B. Okay, F. Okay, it matches. Then G sharp. For once, I can hit the note better than the instrument. Feeling a little bit proud. Stupid bass clarinet, you can't beat me. Okay. These will match. They'll be the same. Okay, so it's algorithmic. The problem is something in my code. Let's turn off Tuner Ninja. And I am guessing it has to do with the interpolation code. So let me double check this, see if there's any assumptions that it's going to start on A here. I already did look at it, but I might have missed something. So this code doesn't seem like it's coupled to the position of the notes passed to it other than the relative position. So it needs every sample. It needs every sample passed in the array to be correct relative to each other. This is the interpolation calc right here. So let me take one more look at what the load comes up for this guy. I think this code is all correct. I'm just going to verify what it returns. Okay. So it begins with C. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, as it should be. Okay. So then the next place to check, you know what? I'm gonna hit this just a few more times. Going to verify that the other melodic clip sets populate that array in the same way, the ones that work. So that would allow me to rule this code out of the problem space. So this one is the other one that doesn't work, and it's arranged in the same way. So let's see one that does work. Is it arranged differently? No, this one still is one that doesn't work. Okay. Here we go. So it's not necessarily a problem that that it uses different samples. I expect them all to use different samples. I just want to see, do they line up the same way? So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. So those are lining up the same way. One thing I do notice that might make the clip set I put in a special case is it seems like it's the first one to have a note before, have a note that's right at the end of the clip set. So there might be a special case there that is getting missed. Let me go to melodic clip set and set another breakpoint for filling in the missing clips. Let's just look at one more just to see the last. Okay, so here's one. Starts with C, A sharp, B. Okay, cool. Okay, gotta make sure that this is actually the right instrument that's filling in for. Okay, so this is birth egg select. It's going to be hard to see problems here because I can't see by looking at the code in the debugger what sound effect it's going to, or what pitch it's going to play something at. I can see what correction to the pitch will be made with this pitches thing here, but that's not the same thing as knowing the final pitch that will play. I can kind of guess a little bit though. So I can say that, you know, if it's at D2 here, then I can look up pitch for that. Maybe. Okay, I'll just walk through it. I'll see. You know, this might take me a number of walkthroughs, but I'll learn what I can from this walkthrough. Okay, so we're initializing a new array of fill clips. I'm going to go through each note starting at C. Okay, so if this note is non-null, then we say this will be, with our current walk through the notes, the previous note that was set. Right now, nothing has been set. Okay, so we say missing note. So we'll start looking after the current note to find which one is next. So I want to make sure, let's see, so this will go from 0 to 11. This will go up to 11 as well. It's just going to find the next note. Okay. So I think this will be like some, let's see, what will it be? It will be 2. It'll be 2. Yep. Okay. Okay, so here I set in this fill clip structure the first the C note. I'm going to say that it will get it'll get played from D. So C will be played with D, but it's got to be pitch shifted. This math here, I don't understand entirely, I'm going to admit to you, but it has worked. I hope it doesn't come down to me understanding this better. But I think what this amounts to is we're saying that we'll play the D note for C, but we'll reduce its pitch by 89%, or its frequency. Say its frequency was let me try it. Let me just see if it works. This idea of mine about what that means. So frequency of notes. So if we say that say it's D2, what's this, by the way? Hertz. Okay. So say that the frequency is 146.83. Then multiply that times that number that I just got in the debugger. Okay, 130.8. Yep. So that does work in the way I thought it did. That was a little bit hard to figure out, so let's add a note or add a comment. The I didn't put that down to a second line because it'll mess up the debugger. Okay, so far so good. That all makes sense. I don't see any problems too, which is kind of bad. Let's hope that by the end of this walkthrough, I'll see a problem. Okay. Okay, so here it's just going to check again. The next present note from the current one. It's going to be D again. Yeah, this logic is going to be the same. Pitch shift note I is going to be 2, which is D. So for C sharp, all right, so you can see what's going on here. C and C sharp will be generated from D, and for C, we already saw what's needed there. For C sharp, we multiply the frequency of D by by 94% to arrive at the C sharp frequency. Okay. This one will be the first one that doesn't need any interpolation. We'll mark it as a present note. At any point, I want to be able to see, what is the note previous to the current note that has a sample for it, and one's next or after, subsequent. So now, for the first time, the previous present note is going to be set to D, and we'll continue because this loop is just for filling in interpolations. Okay, so now I think now I'm on D sharp. Yeah, D sharp. So the next one for D sharp is going to be D sharp, E, F. It's going to be 5. Yep. Okay. Okay, both of them, we have a previous present note and next present note. So this will pick the one that's closest. It should be 2, the previous note. It's a little bit, it's one closer than the next note is. So 2. There. So then the pitch shift down here will be a number more than 100%. So you can see when you get to D sharp, it says take D and make it 6% higher pitch. Multiply the frequency by this 1.06, and that should produce D sharp. I'm going to check it real quick. I'm not going to check all of these, but just one more. So if I go to here, I see D is at 146.83 times this pitch shifting value. Gives us 155.56 D sharp. Yep, that's right on. Okay. So far this is looking pretty good, which is bad. I want to see a problem. And I don't see a problem yet. Everything looks right. Hey, Ludicrous Devil, what's going on? Don't be a bot, don't be a shill. Don't be a bot, don't be a shill. Be a normal person. Okay. Let me keep stepping through this until I get to nine. Cool. Every once in a while, there'll be a chat message and I'll go, "Hey, how you doing?" And it's like, "I love your stream, Eric H2000," inserting text. "I will make template for your channel. Go to website." Like, oh man, dang it, you stupid bot. Anyways, glad to have you joining me. I'm just in the middle of a debugging session. Okay, so I want to get to let's see, 9. It's not that bad. I get 1 or 2 a week. Now, if I was a bigger streamer, maybe it would be a big problem. Which 5? Okay. Let's see. Let me be a little more efficient about this. Okay. What am I on? 6. I want to get to 9. So let's play 7. Yeah. I'm just a little guy. Got little problems. Okay. So what am I expecting here? So now I'm at 9. I want next present note to get picked up. If it doesn't, then that's an issue. Okay, it should be 11. Is it 11? It is. Okay. Okay, but the closest one will be the previous note. Yeah, sure. I'm always open to that. Yeah. So it said use 8. I think that is a good decision, because if I'm trying to fill in for this guy, which is A, then I should go to the nearest sample that I have, which is G sharp. That's correct. Then on the next one, it should I don't know, it could pick either one, the previous or the next one. What did it use? 11. It used the next one. Okay. So there it actually used B. Okay, then this last pass should just fill in the rest of the missing clips. Let's get rid of this. So I'm working on a game, and I've been working on this game for a year and a half or so. And specifically today I'm working on a bug in my sound effects that are melodic. So I have certain sound effects that play as instruments. I'll demo it to you in a minute. And some of them are playing at the wrong note, and I have to figure out why. So let's fill in the missing clips. Did think of one other reason why this isn't working, but I want to verify this code is correct. So far it looks very correct. Okay. Alright, let's just go up one. And let's take a look at the handiwork. So the clips, they're all there. D, 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 F, 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 G sharp, B, pitches. So these ones that say 1 are the ones that I play the original sample at 100% pitch. The ones that say 0.8, 0.9, anything less than 1, it means I play the sample here but reduce its pitch. The ones that have a higher number, I'm playing at a higher pitch from a previous sample. So this is mapping to that, that. This looks really right. Let me double check on these last notes here. So this one would be B. According to the internet, B is at 123 hertz. And let me multiply 123 hertz by 94% value. So what I should get is the pitch for A sharp, A sharp. Whoa, no, that's not right. Dang it. Forgot a key. Times. Okay, so that should be A sharp. A sharp 116.5. Okay, that's correct. So that is all looking right. Samples are right. Maybe. Let's just play this through. All right. I'll give you a brief demo. Console. Okay, hold on. It built in the middle of a play. Gotta restart. Enlarge this a bit. Okay, so the melodic sound effects. I like that. And all of the sound effects that are melodic have to play in the same key. Otherwise, disharmony happens. That gives you an idea. So the thing that was not working right was this new music tester thing that I put in. Melodic tester. Okay, so if I say birth, egg, select. Is this the right key? Let me bring back my friend the pitch detector. Oops. No, that's right. Okay, that seemed off, but well, hold on. Sometimes I have to sing it because it's a complex sample. Yeah, it flitted between 3 different notes here. Boom. This is sounding right. Okay, now that's a little bit off. But it's... Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I was pretty happy with it when I came up with it. It might be I psyched myself out on this because the pitch detector has trouble with this specific set of samples. I think it's because their pitch wavers. It's like wow, wow. That might just be the clarinet. Yeah, this is coming up good actually. I think it was a worthwhile exercise to double check it, but it's right. It's fine. Okay, I'll finish checking the other samples and I'll call it good. So birthday, good. Bonus, let's check bonus real quick. Now I'm looking for just things that are kind of anomalous that suggest I have like the wrong sample assigned. And I can hear with my ear it's following the scale pretty well. Okay, bonus. Okay, fall. That's going to be the timpani. Not going to fret over the fall. Barely a melodic instrument, it's more percussion. Okay, the flings, I listened to those earlier, they were fine. Non-melodic. I gotta go a little slower on this one because it has long tail to it. Stairs. get a good drink. Okay, awesome. It's a little bit cleanup, but this is looking just fine. It lets me stop thinking about this until I hear a problem. I got a lot of nice checks in there to avoid problems that I added today. So the reason why I'm being a bit painstaking about this is because at some point I got to add music in, and I want all of the pitches for the sound effects to be correct, so that it'll harmonize with the songs and not make them sound terrible. Let me go back to here, add some comments. I put them on off to the right because I wanted to not change the position of lines inside of the debugger. But for better reading, okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let me just say what this is about. Inside arrays below index. Let's see. Elements will be in this no order. Okay. That took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. But I'm glad I did it. Glad it's done. I am probably going to take a break here. Oh, hey. So, this is not the first game I've made. There was a series of games first released in the 90s, and the last one was released maybe 5 years ago. It was called Drod, D-R-O-D. So I came up with that game, and it's got similarities in the play mechanics. I'll demo for you a little bit more. I just finished up my session goal, which is usually where I stop the session, but if you feel like hanging out, I'll talk a little bit more. Demo. Let's go ahead and throw some enemies into this so you can see what that looks like. Prefabs, where you at? Prefabs. Creatures. Brawler. Let's throw some brawlers down. Are you a Unity developer? Do you make games in Unity? Let's make it a little more fun. Let's move this out here. And throw another one down. North spoke, right spokes. Okay, then maybe some ice. Ice is fun. That's cool. Like, what kind of games do choose to work on. Hopefully this will start working for me again. It wasn't the other day. This ice stuff. If it doesn't, I'll just skip past it so I can just do a decent demo. But yeah, it seems to have some kind of issue. Oh, I gotta unpack it. That's what it is. Unpack the prefab. Okay, there. That's looking better. Okay, cool. Get some of this going, and you can see a more representative view of the game instead of the contrivances that I did for debugging and testing and all that. So I'm gonna get the eggs further away. Right, maybe a few more. Multiplayer, third person. Multiplayer, that's like you're signing up there. That's usually a more difficult game to make. Tower defense is fun. Okay, let's clear all that. And I'll go ahead and save. And for better demo, maximize on play. And let's go. Okay, so you could say this is turn-based, but I sort of hate that terminology for what I'm doing, because it's basically everything moves after you move, but you move as fast as you want. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that API, so hey, maybe it's good. So when you or one of the enemies dies, you're instantly reborn inside of the egg. Wait as long as you want. As soon as you move, they move. You can go up, down, left, right, or actually north, south, west, east by moving the arrow keys. You hold down the shift key and that gets you ready to fling in one direction, and then I press the arrow key and just puts me instantly there. Push these guys around, they can push you around. They tend to just beeline for you, so they'll do stupid things like walk into spikes and die. Ice, you slide all the way across when you enter onto it. These axles, you can turn them around. You can make them destroy other things that are there. If it's blocked, then the axle won't move. Those guys are going to be really noisy off to the west because they keep on running into the spikes. If you touch a different egg, it sets it as the point where you're going to be reborn if you die. The fun thing to do is to rotate the spikes on top of these guys. killed myself too. All right. So there isn't any point to just killing things for its own sake. As you can see, they just get reborn again. So it's not much point in just fighting for fighting's sake. But usually you've got some kind of goal that you're trying to achieve, and they just kind of get in your way. And you end up battling your way through them, or sometimes running from them. Whatever works best for your strategy. So here he's going to kill me. So there's a level exit. It's this thing up here. So I can set a goal for myself to get to that level exit if I want. And that's it. That's the gist of it. And I think I'm going to take a little break here, ludicrous, and eat some brunch with my wife, and maybe come back to another session a little bit later. But appreciate that. Yeah, there is actually a whole story to it too. Got voice actors and waiting in the wings to voice different parts, and yeah, nice to meet you. See you around. Stopping the stream now.